Hello, everybody. Thank you for joining another episode of The Well. Today is a very important topic that we're discussing, and we're discussing domestic violence. It's something that's near and dear to my heart after actually witnessing family members go through this. And I'm glad we have today Ms. Tara Steverson. She's with the Mississippi Coalition Against Domestic Violence. She's graciously come to give her time to talk about this subject. We're going to have a lot of questions that we're going to ask Ms. Tara tonight, and bear with us. But I think it's going to be a wealth of knowledge and a wealth of information that can not only maybe help you or a loved one who's watching this evening. So, Ms. Tara, again, thank you for being here today.
It is a pleasure.
Thank you so much. So, can you tell us, how do you actually define domestic violence?
Domestic violence is basically about power and control.
Mhm.
It's when somebody is controlling your life. It can be physical, it can be mental. It's not, you cannot always see it, but it's basically about controlling that loved one, the person you're in a relationship with.
Okay. So control. So it's not just trying to, I'm just gonna inflict pain on you because I got mad. It's an emotional type of
Yes,
thing.
it's not just about inflicting pain. It's about doing whatever needs to be done to get control. Whether it can be inflicting pain, it can be isolating you from loved ones, it can be controlling money, giving you an allowance, making sure you only have enough of what they want you to have.
But the person who is actually displaying the domestic violence, the center and core is, it all goes back to this type of control that they want to have on their victim.
Yes, it goes
Okay.
back to power and control.
So can you tell us what are some myths about domestic violence and that you would like more people to understand?
A few of the myths about domestic violence is where we just mentioned it's always physical. Domestic violence is not always physical. It can be mental abuse, it could be psychological abuse, and it can also be financial abuse. Domestic violence comes through by stalking. That's the first part of domestic violence, kind of the beginning stages. And stalking is also a part of domestic violence, which can kind of come at the beginning when you notice someone is always around and always popping up.
Oh, I didn't think about that.
Yes. Another myth about domestic violence is it only happens to women. That is not true. We also have men who come to us that need help, that need advice on how to navigate a situation or how to even get away from a situation. So it's not just women.
That's a good point that you made about that it's not just women, that men can go through domestic violence too.
Yes.
But even from not only their partner, but from a female, that men can have domestic violence.
Yes. Another myth that we come across a lot is that a victim can leave anytime that they want to. That's a myth because you never know what type of obligations that person may have. You never know what type of restraints they have. They could be held back because of financial issues. The perpetrator holds the purse string, so that person can't leave because they don't have access to money. Also, it could be threats that the perpetrator is doing. The victim could be scared that they're going to hurt their kids. Sometimes they threaten and say, "Hey, we're going to hurt your family members if you leave me. If you try to leave me, I'm going to hurt somebody you love." So it's not always easy to just leave a situation.
I'm glad you mentioned that because I like I said, this is near and dear and personal to me, and that's what a family member was told. So that if they were going to tell me what was going on, because I know she's a doctor and whatever, and they're thinking because my ties in the community or whatever, then they were going to call the board of medicine on me and make up some kind of story that I was, doing something wrong and doing something narcotics to get back at me. And so that person was scared because they thought that they were protecting me when this person was trying to hold that against them. So
Yes.
I definitely understand what you're saying about the blackmail part and trying to hold
Yes.
something against
Threats
somebody.
against loved ones is a
Mhm,
big thing. Yeah.
mhm, mhm. And why do you think it's difficult for people to leave an abusive relationship?
Some of the same reasons. One, of course, the
Mhm,
threat of the loved
mhm,
one, not
mhm.
having a plan. Some people are scared because they're comfortable in the situation and that's
Yes.
all that they know.
Mhm,
Sometimes it's your religious belief. A lot of times,
mhm. Yeah.
churches telling you you can't get a divorce or you should work it out with your husband or work it out
Mhm,
with
mhm,
your mate. So a lot of times
mhm,
it's about how you look in the community. And then
mhm,
sometimes some people just don't want to feel like a failure. They want to work it out. They don't want to
mhm,
end the marriage or end the relationship. They want to work it out and they want to look a certain way in the eyes of the community.
mhm. That's so true too. So for family and friends who are watching, what are some of the warning signs that someone may be undergoing domestic violence?
Some of the warning signs you can look for is isolation.
Mhm,
You used to see that person a lot. Now they're kind of staying to themselves. Um, Maybe how they're dressed in, let's say it's summertime, but you're wearing a long sleeve shirt, or they may be wearing a
mhm,
turtleneck, something try to cover up bruises, sunglasses on the inside to cover
mhm,
up bruises around the
mhm,
eyes. So you kind of want to look at how somebody is dressed. Another warning sign is maybe they're a little obsessive about what their partner thinks. They're really worried
mhm,
about what their partner is going to say about what they do or who they hang around. It's like a overreaction to
mhm,
anything that
mhm.
their partner might react to them in their actions.
Would you say, just in your experience, though, that sometimes it might be by the time a person has come to the realization, oh, my loved one or this person is going through that, and they just didn't even recognize the signs until it was too late. I mean, like the signs could be like right in front of your face, and then it's too late when they finally they look back and see, oh, I noticed that this person was doing those things that you
Mhm.
were saying.
Well, the first thing I would say is never blame yourself, whether
Okay.
you're the victim or whether
Hmm.
you're one of your loved ones is a victim.
Hmm.
Sometimes it's hard to see the signs because they're trying to hide it from you. So if
Hmm.
I don't want you to know that I'm being victimized, I'm not going to come around you. So you're not going to know. If I don't
Hmm.
want you to know that I have this bruise on my arm, I'm going to put on a cute jacket. So you're going to notice my cute jacket, but you're not going to
Hmm.
notice the bruise. So if you don't see the warning signs, that doesn't mean that you missed something. That just
Okay.
means that they were trying to hide it. And
Hmm.
I would say stay open. Always
Hmm.
stay open. Continue
Hmm.
to keep yourself open to your loved one. And when they're ready to come to you and talk and get help, be there to help.
So it's and that's a good point. Not feeling guilty because you didn't quote see the signs that this person was going through and thinking, how could I have
Yes.
not noticed this or why didn't I see that or anything like that? Because I'm not gonna lie, I went through those having those guilty type feelings like you've been in medicine for 20 plus years. You should have seen this when this person was going. How did you
Yeah.
miss those signs until it
If
had
somebody
escalated?
yeah, if somebody doesn't
Mhm.
want you to see it, you're not gonna see it.
Mhm. So they really become, I guess, good actors and actresses.
They do. Yes,
Mhm.
they do put on a show. Like I said,
Mhm.
they want to portray a certain image to the community. So they're
Mhm.
going to take up for their loved ones. They're going to take up for their partner. They're going to make
Mhm.
excuses for them. So you might not see it right off. But in the
Mhm.
long run, if you're noticing, you might notice, like I said, they are starting to isolate themselves.
Yes.
You
Mhm.
might not see them for a while, so you might want to just call them or check on them or go by
Mhm.
and see them and just kind of pay a little closer attention when you notice the changes, when you notice them not enjoying the things they used to do.
Mhm.
Maybe they used
Mhm.
to like going skating, they like going
Mhm.
out, they like going to restaurants, and now all of a sudden they just want to stay at home. They don't want to be around
Mhm.
people because
Mhm.
they're scared of what their partner may think.
Right, right.
Mhm.
So we've already talked about the red flags that people should pay attention to and how abuse escalates over time. How does it affect mental health?
Well, with mental health, a lot of times the victim can get PTSD. They disassociate because they've been isolated for so long. It's hard for them to kind of get back out around people. It might make them nervous, or they might still be scared of what's going to happen because they've been isolated and abused for so long. A lot of times, the abuse is psychological. The perpetrator plays mind games. So they might start thinking, well, maybe I'm not
Yeah.
so smart, or maybe I'm not so pretty, and so you start thinking it, you start believing it because it's just been told to you for so long by someone you love and care about. You start believing it, so that could take a toll on you mentally as well.
And I've heard patients tell me, I thought I was going to stay because I was told nobody wants you, another man will never have
Yes.
you, you'll never get
Mhm.
married again, you'll never have a boyfriend again. And over time, they just start. And I'm talking about beautiful, gorgeous women who actually was thinking that about themselves. Like you said, it kind of had been brainwashed and mentally told and felt
Yes.
that way
Mhm.
about themselves.
Yeah, gaslighting
Mhm.
and the name calling and
Mhm.
putting you down, it causes low self-esteem over time.
Mhm.
And a lot of times it's hard when you're coming out of that, it's hard to kind of get that back up.
What does healing look like for survivors?
Healing for survivors, it looks like mental and physical health.
Mhm.
So you want to take care of your body. You want to exercise. That releases the endorphins that helps
Mhm.
your mental health. You want to maybe take some time to yourself to meditate. A lot of times you might want to start getting back out in the community. If you've been isolated for so long, maybe
Mhm.
reach out to a friend, reach out to a family member, and just have a conversation. So healing looks like getting out of isolation and
Mhm.
being a little bit more active slowly. It's not a fast process at all. It's a
Mhm.
slow process, but it is a process that's doable.
I'm glad that you said that it's doable so people can know that there's no hope for me. There is hope.
Yes,
It is. You can be a survivor. It's doable.
absolutely. Yes.
And the shame, we talked about the shame and silence. So let's talk about how do we start getting people out of this cycle? How do we start breaking this abuse?
Well, what I would say, and this is me coming
Mhm.
from a communication standpoint, it's all about having a conversation.
Mhm.
And part of my job with the coalition is to make the coalition visible and
Mhm.
start a conversation, whether it's through social media, whether it's through our website, whether
Mhm.
it's a press conference that we're having and we're inviting the community to be a part of press conference.
Mhm.
We want to have the conversation about domestic violence. We want to talk about it. We want to let people know that there is help. You don't have to just stay at home and take it. There are
Mhm.
resources there that are available in the community. There are people there for you to talk to. And there are also people there to help you create a plan. So
Mhm.
even if you're not ready to leave right now, we have something called safety planning. And a
Mhm.
lot of times that helps the victims become a little bit more confident and
Mhm.
stronger when they're ready to leave. They have a plan, they know what to do, and they don't have to stay in that cycle of abuse.
Great. So if someone is watching today and they suspect that someone is being abused, what's the most helpful first step?
The first step I would suggest is reach out to that person. Ask them if
Mhm.
they need help. Let them know that they are there. If you're not ready to leave now, if you're not ready for help, let me know and I'll be there for you.
And if the situation might be a little dangerous, if the person could actually be the person who's the abuser, may be a little bit mentally unstable or something like that, that that they could very well harm me as well as that person. Do you suggest getting police involved or
Absolutely.
okay?
I definitely suggest getting law enforcement involved,
Mhm.
filing a police report so everything can be on file. You want a written
Mhm.
record of everything. If a protection order is needed, I would also recommend getting a protection order. The
Mhm.
more that you have on file, the more that you have in writing, the more helpful it is for you in the long run.
Okay. Um, what should people avoid saying to someone, even if they're trying to mean well? What are some wrong things to tell a person who's going through domestic violence?
The number one thing, of course, is why don't you just leave?
Mhm.
Because it's never that easy. It's never
Mhm.
that easy because there's so many things, as we saw earlier,
Mhm.
that could be making you stay, whether it's the threats or whether it's financial or whether it's kids. You don't want to leave your kids in a
Mhm.
situation.
Mhm.
A lot of times you have custody issues where the perpetrator is taking advantage of having the kids and telling them negative things about you. So you
Mhm.
want to make sure that your kids are in front of you and you want to keep that family unit
Mhm.
together.
Mhm. And I actually do know someone that had to leave her kids
Mhm.
in order to save her own life. She literally had to flee in order to save her life and left her kids behind. Eventually, thank God, the courts and the justice system intervened, and in the end, she did get her kids back. But it's just heartbreaking to know that you had to actually leave your kids with someone who
Yes,
was actually causing you this much harm and distress
it
to yourself.
is.
And that's another thing. I'm glad you brought that up about kids being involved, in
Mhm.
addition to financial and mental and other things like that. Like you said, holding the purse strings, or
Yes.
actually having children with
Now,
this
one
person.
thing I would suggest, and this is me personally, I think
Mhm.
the easiest thing to ask is, how can I help?
How can I
Let
help?
them lead you into how to help them instead of you putting your expectations on them.
Mhm.
Or sometimes we have our own biases
Mhm.
because we think it's easy.
Mhm.
Just ask them, how can I help? What do you need?
And mean it too.
Yes. Yes.
Because be prepared if someone opens up and actually is ready for help. And don't just I'm just saying things to be saying things, and
Hmm.
then you're surprised that this person is actually saying, "I do need help." Mhm.
Yes.
And I think resources also, the person who's trying to help needs to reach out to, like what you do, to have the proper resources to help that person.
Yes.
Mhm.
And so that's why we have a list of domestic violence shelters on our
Mhm.
website. So anyone that needs help anywhere in the state of Mississippi, you can go to that page, you can look at the
Mhm.
counties that you're closest to, and you can get help in your area. So no matter what part of the state you're in, if
Mhm.
you need help or you know someone that needs help, you can call one of those shelters
Great.
and get the assistance that you need. And also, I want to say, with our shelter programs, you don't always have to be a resident of the
Mhm.
shelter to get help. Our shelters also offer programs such as counseling.
Mhm.
They offer assistance with childcare. A lot of the things that you can get assistance with, you don't necessarily have to be a resident of the shelter. Sometimes
Mhm.
people are kind of nervous about reaching out for help because they think they have to go live in a shelter. So that's not always true.
Thank you for that, because see, you just enlightened me. I didn't know that. So now that's something that I can tell people that I meet or in my practice, that you don't have to be a resident of the shelter.
Yes,
And that there's shelters all over Mississippi, not just the Jackson area, the Tri-County
absolutely.
area,
Yes.
throughout the whole state of Mississippi. And they can get that information by contacting you all. And we're going to put that at the end of this
Okay.
show. We're going to put the contact information for people who are watching. And how do you think communities, schools, churches, how can they be more involved to help spread the word and help victims?
Well, a lot of times we make sure that the organizations in
Mhm.
our community have the resources that they need. We offer written resources, we offer trainings, we offer
Mhm.
educational tables at different events. So anytime that the coalition can get involved with any organization or inside in the community to give out
Mhm.
resources, we do that. So those organizations, including churches and schools, can have what they need to
Great.
help those that are with them.
And when you said training, you can actually get involved with your program and actually become a trainer.
So with our trainings, we have a specific training called DB 101. And what
Mhm.
we do, we go into communities, we go into organizations and some of the churches, and we educate people on what domestic violence is, what the
Mhm.
signs are, what to look for. Sometimes we may have a group from a doctor's office, a facility.
Mhm.
Specifically, nurses want to know what to look for and how they can help their patients who come in and they see signs of domestic violence. We have a program for our teens. We have a teen council, and what we do with our teens is we have a program where we go into the schools and we talk about healthy relationships. So we kind of let the teen, and we have ambassadors for different high schools. So we talk to the teens about what healthy relationships look like, how to intervene with a friend, how to have a conversation with a friend when you think they're in a bad relationship. So we want to make sure we start at the young level that, hey, this is not good.
Right.
This is what love looks like.
Mhm.
It's okay to say no, and it's okay to have boundaries.
I think that's amazing. So the school systems is just reaching out to you all and getting ambassadors in there, or is this automatic that schools have ambassadors?
Well, no, so that's two different things. So a
Okay.
lot of times the school counselors that know about us or they hear about us online or anything, they call and ask us to come out to the school and we speak to the school or speak to their groups about
Mhm.
healthy relationships. Now the ambassadors come from our teen council program, and that's something that the coalition organizes, and we get kids from around the
Okay.
state, and
Mhm.
we have a couple of events throughout the year, and we get with the kids throughout the year, whether it's on Zoom or we have a face-to-face, and we talk about healthy relationships. We give them
Mhm.
resources to give out at the school, or we help them navigate conversations so they can help their friends when they go to the school navigate conversations as an ambassador for healthy
Got it.
relationships.
Okay. And what message for someone who's watching who is going through domestic violence, what message would you want to give them right now?
I would want to tell them that they are not alone.
Mhm.
You are not alone. There is hope,
Mhm.
and help is available.
Especially for people like you all and your coalition.
Mhm.
What resources, I know you talked about the shelters and what you do. Is there anything else that you would like to add as far as resources for someone who may be needing help?
Well, there are a lot of different resources depending on what a person is going through.
Mhm.
So, what I would suggest is go utilize our main resources, which is the website,
Mhm.
which is MCADV.org. They can go to that website and reach out to their local shelter and let them know what they need. And that shelter advocate will talk to them and give them the resources that's available for them.
Great. And is there anything else that I have not asked you that you would like to add for those who are watching?
Well, the main thing that I always want to let people know is help is available and to reach out, whether you reach out to us, reach out to a
Mhm.
loved one, or reach out to one of our shelter programs for guidance. If you're not ready to leave, let us help you with the plan. Let us help you
Mhm.
navigate what you're going through to find the safest way out.
Thank you again, Ms. Tara Steverson, who's with the Mississippi Coalition Against Domestic Violence. Again, we're going to have the resources posted at the end of this show. If you all out there are watching need these resources, need to get in contact, need to call, I implore you and beg you to please do that. And like she said, have a plan. And don't, and when you offer your help, make sure that you are willing to help that person. Um, don't beat somebody up. Um, why are you doing this? And those type of things. So I think it's just very important that you all listen to what she has said. Again, this is near and dear. I think this is just a topic that a lot of people don't discuss and bring to the forefront, and that we need to hear and that we need to know about this, because sometimes it can be just right under your nose that that person who's going through that, your coworker, your church
Yes.
member, uh, your loved one who could be going through this. So again, thank you. Thank you to Mississippi Coalition Against Domestic Violence for you all sharing your time. And I just can't thank you enough.
It's been a pleasure, like I said, and I appreciate the opportunity to come here and share our resources.
Thank you. So you all, thank you for tuning in to the episode of The Well. And again, I wish you well.